All right, so it's starting to look like a scene from Mad Max down there with all the destruction that we've done. So let's see if we can just take it out, clean it up the easy way. I think that did the trick. Well, everybody, the snow is here, as it is in most of the country. I'm sure you guys knew it wasn't gonna stop us today, but it actually wasn't too easy to get out here. You can see we have a big track plowed all the way up the driveway, and it's kind of a sad day for me because for the first time since I got it, the old Colorado let me down. It got stuck on the way out here, like stuck, and I had to get pulled out, and I've never been stuck in this truck since I got it. So that kind of tells you how much snow we got. But because of the snow, we're kind of improvising our plans for today's video. So over the years, as I'm sure most of you have as well, I've kind of developed a list of dream guns that I would really like to have. Some of them are obtainable, some of them not so much. And today I'm happy to say that we're able to check one of these off the list because I recently just bought one of my dream guns. And here she is, the Daniel Defense Mark 18 AR pistol. I know a lot of you are probably thinking, dude, your dream gun is an AR pistol. Everybody has these, but something about the Mark 18 and the Daniel Defense Mark 18 specifically has just always been a dream gun of mine. I've always wanted to have one of these. You guys know I've wanted an AR pistol for quite a while anyway, and I figured what better choice than the Daniel Defense Mark 18. So I'm well aware that the 10.3 inch barrel that's on this AR pistol is not the most effective for AR pistols. Obviously a longer barrel is going to be more effective and give that 5.56 more velocity, but I really don't care. I like the Mark 18, and that is why I went with this gun. The history, the reputation, all that stuff surrounding the Mark 18 definitely contributed to my decision to go ahead and buy this thing. So you might remember a video I did back in September or October when the ATF was apparently going to crack down on the AR pistols and the pistol braces. That's actually when I bought this gun. I think it was like October 25th or something like that. I got online and bought the Daniel Defense Mark 18 upper receiver. Here we are 4 months later, and it finally arrived in the mail. And I can honestly say this is the very first gun that I've ever panic bought. Back in October when I bought this thing, you just could not find AR pistols. People were freaking out, buying them all up, and the Mark 18 was no exception to that. So I had big plans for this video today, and obviously the snow has kind of forced us to improvise, but we will do more videos down the road and do legitimate testing and, you know, all the stuff that I want to do with the Mark 18. But today, we're just gonna have fun with it because I am dying to shoot this thing. First mag. All right, so it didn't lock the bolt to the rear, and I know why that is, but it did cycle all the ammo just fine. So down the road, I'll do more videos with this, obviously, and probably go into more details on it. They're not new, they've been out forever. Most of you guys are probably well aware of what the Mark 18 is. But today, because we have such an awesome snow day, I just wanna have fun with this thing, and we're gonna do some really fun stuff here in a minute. So just to give you guys one more look at this thing up close, it is bad to the bone. It's got the RIS-2 handguard up front, which is something Daniel Defense is really well known for. I went with the PDW SB pistol brace, and it is on a Palmetto State lower. The complete Daniel Defense pistol wasn't available when I bought this, or I probably would have just got the complete. When I bought this thing, I started looking up, you know, the best buffers and springs and stuff like that to put in a little AR pistol like this because, as I'm sure most of you know, the action can be rather violent and kind of beat up the parts quicker than it needs to. So I went ahead and put an H2 buffer in this buffer tube and pulled out the original H buffer that was in it. But after shooting that magazine and seeing the ejection pattern and it not lock the bolt to the rear, Daniel Defense might have this gas system fine-tuned, and I probably am just gonna go ahead and put the H buffer back in this thing because, as you guys know, I shoot mostly steel cased ammo, and that was brass and it didn't lock the bolt back. So once I put steel in this, it might not even cycle it reliably with that H2 buffer in there. So I would rather have it overgassed and more reliable than undergassed and less reliable. But first impressions on this thing is it is every bit as cool as I thought it would be. So let's shoot it some more. Got a little carried away, but I love shooting this thing. I'm gonna extend this all the way out. See if it's a little more comfortable. Oh yeah, much better. All right, so that one did lock the bolt to the rear, and the ejection pattern looks good. It looks like it's probably 3 o'clock, maybe a little bit behind that, but man, it just feels so smooth. I did not expect the recoil impulse to be that gentle. I'm used to the mid-length like BCMs and stuff, and that's about as soft as it gets. And this is not far off of that. It's really not as violent as I thought it would be. Obviously the AR-15 is a soft shooting gun anyway, but these little carbine length gas systems, you know, do kick a little bit more, especially with the short barrel. But Mark 18 with the H2 buffer, not bad at all. All right, let's start having some fun. We got a little shelf in front of that wall of snow that we plowed, and I want to see if we can paint a masterpiece on the back of that wall shooting spray paint cans. So let's see. Come on, there we go. Well, that one overreacted. All right, so here it is. We got paint probably 10 feet out from where I actually shot those spray paint cans. And you can see the tie-dye color pattern that we put on that wall. Hopefully the colors are showing through on camera, but it actually looks pretty cool, man. I gotta say, we got some blue and purple, pink, some more blue or purple, green, yellow, blue, and orange all the way out there. You can actually see the bullet holes behind our spray paint cans where those bullets went in. Pretty big holes in that wall of snow. I would say that our masterpiece painting was definitely a success. By the way, we have one spray paint can that went about 30 yards away from all the others. So I'm not sure if spray paint's flammable, especially after it's been exploded out of the can like that, but we're gonna see if we can start a little fire. Whoa, that came like halfway back to me. That was awesome. See if we can put it out with the fire extinguisher. Well, it put out one of our fires. Oh, no, it didn't. It just relit itself. All right, so it's not putting out our propane cans, but it's still pretty cool. All right, so it's starting to look like a scene from Mad Max down there with all the destruction that we've done. So let's see if we can just take it out, clean it up the easy way. Wow. I think that did the trick. All right, well, here is ground zero. I don't know if you guys can get an idea of how big this really is. Like, I'm standing in the crater right now. That was pretty impressive, and it definitely took out our hill. Holy crap, there's still a fire going right here. Can you guys see that? That's still on fire. I don't know if our explosion reignited it or if it's been burning the whole time, but we pretty much took care of that. I'm having too much fun out here. Boy, this little sucker is bad to the bone. I could shoot this thing all day. Let's go ahead and finish off this magazine here. She's running. All right, everybody. Well, I think that is going to conclude today's arcade session with the Daniel Defense Mark 18. So I'll go ahead and give you guys one more close-up look at this beauty since the sun's not so harsh anymore. But yeah, just a beautiful gun, a really high quality gun. Daniel Defense is one of them companies that I really respect, and I've always wanted one, and I'm glad to finally have one. So there's a ton of really good ARs and AR pistols out there that you could get for half the price of this. I spent like 1,200 bucks on just the upper receiver for this. So I know a lot of you guys might think I'm rich or I have a lot of money because I'm able to buy Daniel Defense or Bravo Company rifles, but the truth is this is the first AR pistol or rifle that I've bought since 2014. The BCM is the only other AR-15 that I own, and I bought that 7 years ago. So truthfully, I just save up and get the ones that I want. I don't really buy too many, I don't want to say cheaper guns because there are a ton of really good ARs that are much cheaper than this thing is. So a lot of people take the word cheap as like a negative connotation. I just mean less expensive, but there are obviously benefits to getting higher quality guns, and usually they do cost a little bit more money. I know if crap ever hits the fan, I will be able to trust my life to this thing, and it's also just a gun that I've kind of always wanted. So I don't want you guys to think that you have to get a Daniel Defense or something like that. These guns are definitely super expensive. But that being said, I have a ton of videos playing with this thing. Obviously the snow kind of hindered our plans out here today, and it is everywhere and it's super deep. So once this melts and the ground dries up, we will come back out and do some more informative videos on this thing. Today was just kind of a fun day, and I'm glad I came out here because I really wanted to shoot this thing. So like I said in the beginning of the video, I know the 10.3 inch AR pistol is by no means the most effective. The longer the barrel is, the more effective it's gonna be, and you can use that all the way up to a 16 inch or an 18 inch full length rifle. The 10.3 inch is definitely effective enough, and the Mark 18 is just one of them guns. It's got that it factor for me, and that's definitely a big reason why I went with this thing. But as always, guys, if you liked the video today, please let me know down in the comments and hit that like button for me, guys. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.